my name's Alison and I'm here today to help you get through the interview stage. So really you should take time and just think, wow, I'm really proud of myself because you've actually got to the final stages. However, everybody gets really, really nervous and anxious when they're actually going for an interview. That's normal. So today what we need to do is think about planning. Planning is key and hopefully it'll help you alleviate those nerves and you'll be able to get that job. That's the ultimate goal. So firstly, I'd like to discuss about personal presentation. Personal presentation is really, really important. It takes us approximately 7 seconds to make a judgment of somebody. So when you walk into the room, you need the interviewers to think, wow, she looks amazing or he looks amazing, the way that you've actually turned out. So think about the clothing that you're going to wear. Think about whether it should be casual or whether it should be formal wear that you're wearing. It's also a good idea to research the company and have a think about how they present themselves in work. What do they wear? Do they wear formal suit and tie, smart dresses, or is it more smart casual? That should give you a clearer view of exactly what you're going to wear to the interview. But also think about your hair. If your hair needs a trim, if it needs a colour, then make sure you get this done ready for the interview. Try not to do anything too drastic so things go wrong and you're not happy with the result. But also makeup. I wear a lot of makeup, but I think if you wear it too heavy, sometimes it can be off-putting for the interviewer. So try to soften the makeup down if you do. Also, you can see with me talking to you today, I use my hands quite a lot to actually express myself. So you're looking at my nails, I would presume, you've noticed them. So your interviewer is going to do the same for you. They're going to look at your nails. So think about it. Do you need to have them manicured? Do you need to have the new nail polish? Do you need to have new nails? Think about that prior to the interview so that everything is covered. Your overall look says something about you. Remember, the interviewer has probably got another 10 people to see today, so they need you to stand out from the crowd. You walk in and they think, wow. Also, you need to think about your communication skills. So there are 2 forms of communication. We've got the verbal and the non-verbal. I'm sure you've heard of these before. So the verbal is thinking about the tone of your voice, the way you speak, making sure that it's clear. Because when an interviewer asks you a question, if you whisper, they may ask you to repeat it. So make sure the tone and the pitch of your voice is correct for that interview. And think about keywords that you're using. Make sure you sell yourself. Be positive, be enthusiastic, that you're hardworking. You have got this time to sell yourself. Then we've got the non-verbal. So I've already mentioned I express myself with my hands, but also give eye contact. When somebody's talking to you, don't look away. Keep focused on that person and answer your questions to them directly. Also smile. Smile lights up the room, it lights up your face. It gives on a whole new personality to you. Even if you're nervous, just smile. And it's okay if you don't know the answers to some of the questions. Take a moment, relax, compose yourself, and then speak. If you don't know the answers to questions, that's absolutely fine. Say, oh, I'm unsure of that, but I can look it up, I can find it out and let you know later. That's absolutely fine. Remember, the people that are interviewing you have been for interviews themselves, so they know exactly what you're going through. Another thing to think about is the company. So research that company, because I can guarantee that the interviewers are going to ask you a few things as to why you've applied for that job. Why do you want to work for them? So just finding out a few key things is really, really important, such as what are the company? What are their values? What do they do for their employees? Are they a good company to work for? These are really, really important factors for you to find out. And again, if you don't know the questions that they've asked you, that's fine. But research, please, please, please research, because I can assure you, you will be asked a few things about them. Then it's about the suitability of the job. Are you sure this job is right for you? We have lots of different personality types. I'm a hairdresser by trade, so I'm an extrovert. I love meeting new people. I can make conversations with people I've never met before, and I can start a conversation and I can continue that flow. That does not faze me. However, some people really, really struggle with meeting new people. This is called an introvert, and they prefer to be left on their own, to work on their own, and they're normally quite shy. So think about that job role. The last thing you want to do is be unhappy in work. So if that job is right for you, think about your personality traits and how it fits that role. Then we've got hard and soft skills. So hard and soft skills. Hard skills tend to be qualifications that you've already achieved, or you could be really, really good at using IT systems. You could be really good with numeracy, literacy. These tend to be called hard skills. And then we've got soft skills. So soft skills tend to be that you're empathetic, you like working in a team, you're a really, really hard worker, and you show true commitment. Most companies want a mixture. It's lovely to have a beautiful balance of both, because the majority of us, no matter where we work, will have to work in a team. So all of these factors are really, really important to you. So let's recap. So be proud you've got to this stage. How amazing are you to have got to this stage? Well done, you. Then you need to think about your personal presentation. Think about the overall look. Get it ready the night before so you're not too nervous and anxious the day of the interview. Make sure you think about your communication. You don't have to rush your answers. And remember, there may be a panel of people asking you different questions. So just take a moment, pause, take a breath before you answer. Use keywords. Really, really promote yourself. Research that company. It's really, really important that you research that company. Then, are you suitable? Do you really fit that job? And then you've got your hard and your soft skills. These are really vital for anybody to get jobs. But also, just lastly, I'd like to say that you think about questions you'd like to ask the employer. So the people that are interviewing you, think about having some questions planned and ready to ask. You don't need many, maybe 2 or 3. It could be, do they offer promotion within the company? What staff benefits do you get? These are all key things to ask an employer, and most interviewers will expect you to ask questions. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope this helps you through to the stages and you get the job. Good luck.
Hi, my name's Emma, and I'm going to be picking up from where Alison's just left off with the interviewing techniques, and we're going to be looking at personal statements. So how to write a personal statement, what it's all about, and why do we need a personal statement? So first of all, what is it? Well, a personal statement is a brief summary all about you. It's a chance for you really to showcase your skills and your abilities in a really short, sharp, punchy document. It's almost a taster of you to a prospective employer or to a university, and it's given somebody the chance to read about your experiences, your qualifications, your skills, what's really good about you. So why do we have one? Well, it's really important when you're applying for a job and you're creating a CV that you have an opening paragraph. And this opening paragraph, like I said, is a really sharp, concise little story about you. If we were going to write a personal statement for your CV, we would make sure it didn't go over about 150 words, because you can't take up that much space on your CV. And the employer, to be honest, once they start reading it, they haven't got that much time. They want to know about you, they want to know you're good, they want to be drawn in and read further into your qualifications, etc. If you're doing a personal statement for university, then that needs to be a longer document. For the university, application, there's 3 different types of document you need to upload onto your UCAS site. Now, the UCAS site is a website which you have to apply for your universities through. And there's 3 separate areas there that you need to complete. One is your personal statement, another one is your qualifications, and the other one is a reference from your school. So you can see your personal statement for your university application is really important. It's a really important document that needs to be perfect. If you're applying for a course which have got a high number of applicants and a low number of spaces, how are you going to make yourself stand out from the crowd? Well, by producing a really good personal statement that gives the university interviewers or the departments, the staff, a really good overview of you, and by showcasing why you should be there gives them the opportunity to say, oh my gosh, I want this person, let's get them in, either interview them. Sometimes you don't even need an interview, sometimes it's let's get them in, we want this person on our course. So this could be the make or break for you with your course. So it is crucial that you get it right. So let's look at what to put into your personal statement. So we need to have a really good opening paragraph. First impressions count. And as Alison just said, it takes 7 seconds for somebody to form that first impression. But they're not going to see you. So you need to make sure that whatever you write down on that opening paragraph is enough to hold somebody's interest. But what are you going to put on there? What kind of topics and content do you actually put into a personal statement? Well, you have to show that university or that employer was so good about you. So why? Why should they have you? What have you got to offer? What skills have you got? What experience have you got? What have you got that's different and unique to somebody else? And how are you going to put that in a document which, if you're doing a university personal statement, there's only going to be 600 words. That's not a lot, is it? It's about the size of an A4 paper. So how are you going to put everything that's good about you into that? Well, you need to be really concise. You need to start by just thinking about anything and everything that's good about you, anything you want to showcase, and put it down on paper. It doesn't matter how many words you put down, how many statements, how many paragraphs. It doesn't matter. Put it down. Just put everything down, because you can go back to it and then you can start going through and breaking it down and making it more concise. Like with any essay writing, it's really difficult to get that first line down on the paper, isn't it? The opening paragraph. So don't think about that to start with. Just put anything down. Words, like I say, just mind map. Use any skill that you know, flowcharts, anything, to just put down little bits about yourself. So what kind of little bits? Well, we need to know, or the university needs to know, how unique you are. So who you are, like I said, what you offer, and what your career goals are going to be. Sometimes, to find inspiration as to how to answer these questions, you need to look at the course description. What is that course looking for? Use the key terms in that course description to help you map over your qualities and your skills. It's a really good method, even when you're doing a job hunt. Look at the job description and see how you map over. Use those key terms, because that really will come across in any of your applications and any of your personal statements. So once you've done that, like I said, just put it all down on paper. You need to get across to that employer or interviewer your passion, your excitement, your drive and your motivation. You have to show them that you can use your initiative. Having an initiative is a really, really good skill to showcase to your prospective teachers, employers. But what is initiative? Initiative, it's all about being a self-starter. So it is actually used from the term initiate or to start. And that's what it's all about. It's about starting something yourself, taking the lead, being an independent worker, okay, taking a task, thinking about it and getting it done, not waiting for somebody to tell you what to do. So how is that important? Well, any employer or university lecturer would want to know that you can take the lead in tasks, in research, in writing, in getting anything done without being told what to do all the time, because that's a real time-consuming issue. So initiative is really good. Make sure you showcase examples of that throughout your personal statement. Stand out. Stand out for the right reasons. Do not copy anybody's personal statements. University admission teams see thousands and thousands of applications every day. They know what they're looking for. They know if you're going to stand out from the crowd, or they know if it's something that they've seen again and again and again and again. Be unique. Show off you, not somebody else, but don't be arrogant, because arrogance is really off-putting. So there's a fine balance, isn't it, to show off your skills, stand out for the right reasons. You really need to show that you can do independent study skills, that you've got a passion for this course subject that you're applying for, or for the job you're applying for. You want to show that you can be a team player, and using examples maybe from sports, hobbies, external interests to evidence team player skills is really good. Now, always draw on examples of what you've achieved so far, whether it's an accredited, as in an exam or a qualification, or a non-accredited, so maybe an experience, work experience, volunteering, hobbies, like I've said, any outside interests. They're really good to bring in, excuse me, really good to bring in to the picture and to evidence all your different skills. If you've heard of something called transferable skills are things like leadership and communication, being good with time management and prioritising tasks. If you can evidence these throughout your personal statement, again, you're hitting all the correct notes there as far as the university admissions team would be thinking. Now, writing. How are you going to write this statement? You haven't got that much words. The key thing to remember is to stay focused. Forget flowery words. We're not doing an English literature or language essay. You need to be concise, you need to be brief, and you need to get your point across really well, but in as a concise matter as you possibly can, because you haven't got that many words to use. If you're filling in your personal statement for UCAS online, what will happen is as soon as you hit either 6,000 characters, 400 words, or, sorry, that's the wrong way around, 4,000 characters, 600 words, or 47 lines, it will cut off. You cannot write anymore. So the best way to do it is after you've put everything down on paper and then you've broken it all down, use a Word document, pop it onto the Word document and then copy and paste it into your application. You can keep an eye then on exactly how many characters you've got, how many lines and how many words, so you're not going to go over. And talking about the writing, it is just like an essay writing. You need to have your opening paragraph, so your introduction. And in that introduction, you want to talk about you. You want to put something about your personality, about you as a person, because that is your opportunity to get that reader to really fall in love with what you're writing. The next part, the middle bit, that's where you put your evidence. So, why do you want to do this course? What research have you done about the course? What are you going to do with the course? How you hit all these different elements with your time management skills, your leadership qualities, and so on and so forth. That goes in the middle. And then, like any other type of essay writing, we have our conclusion. And our conclusion really needs to be short, sharp, and punchy. Leave on a really nice positive note, okay, so they don't forget you. That's a really important thing. But within that writing, you need to make sure you've ticked off all of what we've just said. Okay. Proofreading your document is essential. Go through it again, go through it again, go through it again. Because you will always find there's elements of grammar or spelling that you've got wrong, okay, or that you've missed just proofreading it once. So go through it a few times, read it out loud, see if it flows. When you're writing a document, you can get so absorbed in the words that you don't think about how it actually sounds to somebody else who's reading it. So if you can read it out loud, it's really nice then to see, does that work? Does that not work? And normally, once we've done that, we end up changing it to make it sound better. Get your friends and family to read it. Although they might be highly critical of what you've written, it's normally really good constructive criticism. They know you. They know you as a person. They know your qualities. They know your skills. So it's really good for you to give them the opportunity to feed back. You might have missed something really important. They can say to you, add that in. Okay, you've forgotten that. So give them the chance to read it. Now, you must make sure you do all of this in a timely manner. One of the most important things about a personal statement, whether it's your 150 words for your CV or whether it's your 600 words for your university statement, give yourself plenty of time to write it. You don't want to rush this. You will end up just putting something through which isn't very good. So plan. Plan what you're going to do. Write down everything. Rewrite it. Proofread it. Rewrite it again. And then send it off. And good luck, because a personal statement really is an important stepping stone for your career or your university course. Thank you for listening.